Jason, your host, and I do models and electronics. We are back, I believe, with part 5 of the soldering board thing. I only have 30 minutes to get as much done as possible. So let's get this open and get started, and I'll explain what's going on here with these 30-minute videos. Just trying to get as much done on this soldering board as possible, cleaning as I go. I have these transistors on here. I have these resistors, some resistors on the back is where I got so far. Today I want to put on these 5 multi-resistors. What are they called? Resistor networks. Network resistors. Couldn't think of the name of it. But there are 5 network resistors that go on there. I'm going to put the board in my stick vise board holder here. A fantastic little board holder for projects, especially for the Nintendo Switch. Get that under the microscope. And I'm going to get out the resistors. This is the resistor array. I am now going to switch to, well, I'm going to put these components back in the bag so I don't lose any. But I'm going to leave the chips out because that is going to be hopefully what else we can get in this 30-minute episode is to get those down. I'm going to turn on my Hakko FX951 station with my FM2032 micro pencil with the 0.6 millimeter chisel tip. I'm going to get these resistors open here. Put them on the table. I'm going to flip them in the proper orientation. So these are, I believe it's 4 resistors in one. So I have used network resistors on the channel before, but not surface mount network resistors. I've used the inline package surface resistors. So I'm going to switch you over to the scope here, and we're going to add some solder to these pads, the network resistors, basically. So we got that under there. Focus that up a little bit better, and we're going to add our solder to these pads. Clean the iron a little bit. Need to add a little bit of flux to that to help that flow, to help those pads. I'm just going to add flux to the whole thing. I'm going to do it as I would do a lit pins for an IC chip, where I just add some solder to my iron tip here. And I brush across and add some solder. Just like so. Just going to drag solder on there. A bit more. Okay. Yep, there we go. So we flow those. Sure everything looks shiny. There we go. So we got that done there. I am going to clean that up a little bit with a cotton bud just to get that old flux off of there. I had to turn on the fume extractor, forgot to turn that on. Tend to forget to turn that on every once in a while. Now that was Kingbo Flux RMA 218 that I used to flow that solder on those joints. And this time I'm going to use a chip quick flux. I'm going to do one, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do a bunch of them. So I'm going to take my chip quick here. A resistor stuck to my arm. It's not good. It's probably how I lost 2. Move them up out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to take my chip quick SMD 291. put it right there, a little dab of it there. And then I'm going to take my resistor and I'm going to put it on there in the chip quick, roughly where it goes. Right about there. Roughly in place. I'm going to take my hot air set to 480 at 40% airflow. And I'm just going to get up the temperature. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to slowly heat this up. And this flows into place here. Nope, that's not there. Normally the chip quick will hold it down, but it doesn't want to hold it down this time. There we go. And now it's in place. There we go. That one's in place. We're going to come over here and we're going to add a chip quick to there. We take our resistor, stick it in there, and add our hot air. That one's done. A little bit of flux. Take the resistor. It's going the wrong way. There we go. All lined up. The next one, a little bit of flux. Probably could have put all these down on once, but I'm doing it this way. There we go. Now I'm going to get this last one here. Chip quick. Get this resistor. Hopefully going the same way. Yep. There we go. So that is those 5 packages on. So now we're going to move on to this this larger SOP 16. And if we see where the line would be. So this would go on like this. So if we come in here, we can line it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm not going to line it up at the exact moment. I'm going to take my chip quick and I'm going to put chip quick on these pins like so. And then I'm going to take my chip and a different pair of tweezers. I'm going to sit my chip on there, line it up. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some solder and I'm going to put it on the end of my iron here. A little blob of solder. I'm going to hold this chip down like so. Now I'm going to touch this pin right here. Put some solder on it. I'm going to touch this pin right here. Now that should be good to go. So now I'm just going to come in here with my solder. I'm going to flip the chip around. And I'm just going to solder these pins here. You can put these on with the hot air. This is how I tend to do these pin chips on the on these SOP and QFP packages. And then a lot of people use a drag soldering technique to solder the pins, which is perfectly acceptable. Everybody does soldering their own way. Some ways are actually faster than others, but I do what is most convenient for me. I'm going to put a little bit of solder right there, or a little bit of flux, I'm sorry. I'm going to clean up this pin right here. One had a little too much on it. Bridge those two. All right, so let's put on this next chip over here. I believe this is a 555 timer. Using our chip quick again, we're going to grab our timer chip here. That is going to go on that way. We do the same thing. We're going to line it up. Line it up. There we go. Just a smidge more on this side. Oh, that was too much. Yeah, I know this is going to take me long. This was getting this straight. The last one went pretty well. All right, so we're going to go with that there. I'm going to put a little bit of solder on my micro pencil. The chip quick is on the board already. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hold this chip down. Just like that. And I'm going to tack this pin right here. It moved a little bit, so it's not a bad move. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tack that pin, tack that pin, tack that pin. So now I'm going to come back over here. A little bit of solder on my micro pencil. Like I said, you can drag solder these chips, but really, I would have to switch irons. I would have to switch to a different iron to be able to drag solder these. Check these side again. So it's not as pretty as I would like it. So now we're going to clean up this board. Take you out of this and we will give this board a clean. 14 minutes. Just using some isopropyl alcohol and electric toothbrush is not turned on. I like it because it has the small round head on it. And we're just going to wipe off that. Then I'm going to take one of these clean room wipes and just clean that down there like that. So there's those chips on, and now let's see if we can put one of these top chips on here. To the microscope. See if we can get one of these on here. I have tweezers that can grab it. Okay, so pin 1 goes there. So I don't really have tweezers that can pick this chip up. So I'll put my chip quick down. Not Lewis Rossman's amount, but enough to serve my purpose. I'll place that down there. Press it down. And we'll look at the alignment. It's going to be this way a little bit. This is why I like the chip plate. You see how it's kind of clear? That is a good thing to be clear like that, so you can see how you're aligning pins like this. Let's go over there like so. It actually looks like everything is lining up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some solder on my end of my micro pencil, like I did last time. All right, then I'm going to hold this down like so. I'm going to do this corner right there. Okay, see how that is still able to move? So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the same thing to this corner over here. After I get it lined up here. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing with this corner. There we go. Now we look lined up, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to it's kind of like drag soldering there. Let's add some more flux to get that out of there. Add some of this to this point right there. Now, I'm not claiming that I'm the best solderer in the world. This is just me doing this here, just to see how much I can get done. And see, that's a little bit out. Add a little bit more flux to all this right here. I'm gonna have to use some solder wick to get that. Well, this is a little bit out, but it's going to be all right. I'll show you a trick I can do with solder wick to just clean these pins up real quick. So use some drag solder in there. Make sure all these pins are connected. Come over here, and we'll make sure these are all connected. All right, so that side is good. A little bit of solder bridges. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my this is Chemwick here. Let me show it to you. This is Chemwick rosin flux. This is number 4. This is 0.1 inches. So back here, I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to wick some of these bridges away, just like this. Wick some of those bridges away. Not on. Get this massive blob here. Micro pencil's not the best for wicking, but it's you know, it's a proof that you can do it. This is just there we go. So that's all clean. All those pins are stuck down. We still got 8 minutes left. Let's get the other one on there and see if we can do a better job this time. Let's get our chip quick on there. See if we can get this lined up here better than we did on the last one. Okay, so let's see here. So that looks pretty good. We'll tack this one corner like we did last time, and then we will tack this one corner down here, and then we'll make any. Just moved it out. Put that corner in there. Now let's see here. This is way out. Need to loosen this up a little bit. All right, this one's way worse than the other one I did. All right, this one's going to be way worse. But I don't want to waste too much time. If someone else does this challenge with me, they'll win on the way these QFP pins look. The reason I only do 30 minutes in a video is because of my back. I can't sit here and solder for more than a 30-minute block. Even a 30-minute block is a little bit much for me, and I have to take a break. So I will take a break at the 30-minute mark, and we'll see how much I got done. Still got 5 minutes left. I think I got time to finish this chip and clean up this board, clean up my bench. But I have other things to do today. And a lot of people I need to respond to on YouTube. If I don't respond to a comment or an email or something, I'm not ignoring it. Sometimes I just can't do things. My body just doesn't let me focus. Like I've had a headache for 2 days, and it has not gone away. So nasty headache for like 2 days. It won't be a recent 2 days when this video comes out, but in general, if I don't, I like to respond to everybody, but sometimes I just can't do it. My head can't take it. Not because it's hard to do. It's just I can't really do anything. I just have to sit in a dark room most days. So having it for 2 days straight, going to sleep with it, waking up with it, it's taking a toll on me, to be honest with you. And it wasn't for me getting to come out here and solder this and make this video. I'd just be in a rut. So I'm glad that I can make content for you guys and, not be in a rut. I try to do the best that I can do. I don't make the best content. I don't edit my videos, but I do the best that I can do. I really do. I try to do the best that I can do always. All right. 3 minutes shy. Let's get this cleaned up here. So we're going to get some alcohol on here. We're going to clean this up. Let's do this on big camera. Turn off the fume extractor. Turn off hot air. And we're going to get this board all cleaned up here. And, I'm trying to teach some other people that, if you clean as you go, like this is it for this project for today. I have a couple other things I got to work on. So I'm going to clean this board up, make sure it's not all sticky and gooey. I'm going to take it out of the board holder. I'm going to get the back of it, make sure it's not all sticky and gooey. And I'm going to take this Chemtech wipe, or not Chemtech, I keep saying that. These are clean room wipes. I'll wipe it down. Wipe it down like that. This is part of the project, so this is why it's in here. We got a minute and a half to finish, so you're going to see how long it takes me to clean as I go. So there, that is put away. It's sealed up. Garbage I can throw away in a bit, but my vise has got Chip Quik Flux all over it, so I'm going to take my clean room wipe with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to clean my vise so it's not all gooey and sticky the next time I use it. And I wipe down the whole thing. I just don't wipe down the areas that got dirty and had flux on it. I wipe down the whole thing, because it's just what you do when you clean. You just don't clean a little bit. So clean off my little pad here. Zoom out here so you can see. Clean off my little pad. I will clean off the flux syringes. Put those away. And with a little IPA, the flux comes off my thing here is sticky. So I don't know what made that sticky, probably flux. And then finally, I will clean my tweezers. Make sure there's no sticky flux left on those. These tweezers are 2 years old, 3 years old maybe, and they look brand new. I take care of my stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. Links on social media, link to Patreon page. Thank you so much.